Hello, mostly family. We're saying hello from Hawksbill Cay, which is a couple islands down from where we were this morning, not too far. It is really beautiful here, but when I turn the camera around, you will see that my dad is all wet. Dad, why are you all wet?
Well, I had to take an impromptu swim.
Why is that?
Because when we were going to set the anchor and you reversed the engine, it caught the line that was tied up to the dinghy and basically broke it. And
oh no!
Sailing away.
I broke the line?
Well...
No, the line was long because it makes it easier, more convenient for towing, but we forgot when we were backing up to set the anchor that a long line is more likely to get caught in the propeller. So I tried to pull the dinghy in and the line separated because it wasn't actually attached anymore.
Yep.
So Dad heroically dove in. But I did want to talk about why we had to set the anchor, because I just think it's interesting the way that information does or does not get disseminated. So here we are, this beautiful pristine beach. There's almost no one else here. And one of the reasons that we came here is this is part of the Exuma Land and Sea Park. So it's a protected area. You can't fish here, you can't collect anything. And in order to aid in that protection, they have mooring balls. So I don't know if you can see, but there's these little white floating balls here that you can pick up and attach to your boat, and then you don't have to anchor, so you don't risk hurting any of the flora and fauna that are here. But what's interesting about that is that the book that we have and the chart that we have show that these mooring balls are in 2 meters of water. They specify that they should be able to accommodate up to a 65-foot long boat and with a 6-foot draft. But all of these mooring balls are in an area that is marked on our other chart as being a foot of water. And as we moved towards them, we noticed that we only had less than a foot left under the keel. And we draw 4.5 feet. So my point being, you can do all the research and you can look up where you're going, and sometimes you get there and it's not at all what you expected. That said, we do look forward to dinghying in. There looks like there's a picnic shelter here on the shore, and then supposedly if you go up to this beach, there is a trail that leads up to some old ruins that date back possibly to the 1700s. So we will hopefully show you part of that.
Hopefully that information will be more accurate than that about the moorings. So
yeah, I guess we'll check in with an update on that after we get Dad dried off.
All
right, see you then. So I found a picnic spot. I think this might be where the path is to the ruins, like behind me here. But our midday meal. I'm hiding in the bushes because the sun really doesn't affect me well if I get too much of it. I'm a very delicate little flower. So I'm gonna hide here in the bushes and eat. We've got, I know my brother Brian was interested in what we were eating. So we've got some Perrier. I have some Fritos with hummus because I ran out of pita chips. I have an apple, some cheddar cheese, and some Planters dry roasted peanuts. And that is going to be our meal. And then we will check out this wilderness and hopefully find some ruins. See you then. So we're gonna go up this path, hoping that it leads to the purported ruins. Sometimes these instructions are ambiguous about where to find things on certain islands, but I think this defunct wooden sign...
Yeah, that's pretty informative.
Well, it's not informative, but it is a sign that something is supposed to be here. And I think that that is positive.
Death to all who enter.
Well, I'll just say that I didn't see it. So I wanted to show this because sometimes Dad and I have landed on some of these islands. Oh, look, a sign. We've landed on some of these islands and thought, oh, we can take a walk. We can go somewhere other than the beach. But you get into it and it's either, even if it's not like this, which you can see you'd probably want to have a machete or something to get through, or it's even not, maybe not as tall, but very dense in the vegetation. But, haha.
These are the path divergers.
Yes, I think we should go this way.
Taking the path most taken.
Well, I don't see why that wouldn't also make all the difference under the circumstances. It's a little bit of a climb, but that's good for us after being on the boat. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, beautiful. I don't think this island is very big, so there's probably not that far to go. But one question I do have, the book wasn't informative about what these ruins were really, is what they thought they were going to do on this island. What was the purpose? And here we've got a sign, Russell Ruins 1785.
Well-marked trail we've seen in a while.
It is. I assume there's no arrow, but I assume it means this
Yeah, that sounds
way.
right.
Although the other trail looked a little bit better.
We'll find poor Russell. All ruined.
His Russell Ruins. It was actually gambling. Unless this is... Wait. This might be the ruins.
Well, there would be a sign, wouldn't there? Oh, there
Maybe that was the sign.
Oh.
Because there wasn't a an arrow.
Oh, keep going.
It just
One
said...
more step up here.
Wow. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Almost like a well or something.
It looks like...
No, it couldn't be a well. Maybe. Stories.
And then a lot of bleached conch shells for some reason.
Oh, look at that.
Oh wow. I don't know what that is.
I think it's not an actual cave. I wonder if it could have been like a cistern or something.
Mm.
You know, storing water.
Right. Or just someplace to cooler storage. There's some interesting, there's cacti here in the forest, which is interesting. And flies, which haven't been a big issue. Oh, there's more over here. Here we go. More stone walls. I really do wonder what, because it's not like you could farm here or this looks a little more substantial.
been like the main house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got some stone walls with like some stucco over it. Yeah, when we get back to somewhere we can look it up, we'll have to find out who Russell was.
Yeah.
And what he thought he was doing here. There's not much here. Like what?
No.
What would you do?
I mean, you try to think about whether it was just a retreat of some kind.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
In the 1700s? I guess.
Yeah.
Not that people didn't retreat in the 1700s. I just mean with communication and travel being a lot more difficult. Alright, well, now you've seen the Russell ruins. So, thank you for coming on this journey with us. So there's more of the ruins here, and I wanted to update because I did get signal when standing on the top of the hill, and I was able to look up who this was. So the Russells were English loyalists who were granted a land grant after the Revolutionary War. And they were granted this parcel of land by the Crown in 1785. And then lived and farmed here and the surrounding islands for the next 115 years, supposedly, until 1910. Still don't know what exactly they lived off of, but the thing that we saw that looked kind of like a well was a beehive oven, and they used it to cook, but also to render the conch shells that we saw into the mortar that they used with the stones to build their houses. So I hadn't even thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, but I do think it's interesting to imagine being so loyal to the British Crown that you leave whatever you were doing on the fertile fields of America to come down here and eke out your existence. But very cool to find still at least somewhat standing.